Alright, family, so let's get into a little bit of deep science. We're going to actually be talking about The Book of Lies by Aleister Crowley, which is one of my favorite books. Now, I understand that this book is so heavy that not a lot of people will get it when you pick it up. You probably will end up putting it back down, alright? Let's look at the title page for a second. So the title page goes, The Book of Lies, which is also called Breaks. The Wandering of Falsifications of the One Thought, of Frater Perarabo, which thought is itself untrue. Break, 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 at the foot of thy stones, O sea, and I would that I could utter the thoughts that arise in me. So let's look a little closely at it. Once again, it says the Book of Lies, which is falsely called Breaks. The wandering of falsifications of one thought, Frater Perarabo, which thought within itself is untrue. Now, Frater Perarabo, the name, or Perarabo, whatever, Perarabo, that he gave himself, was, you have to understand, when you initiate into an order, you were given a new name, okay? And so this name, this magical name that he was given, correlates to the, I believe it was in the book of Matthew in the Bible, when Jesus said, he who endures to the end will be saved, or whatever he said. So the phrase within itself to Aleister Crowley had meaning in that he was going to endure to the end, basically. He was going to follow the path of the great work. That's what he was called to do. There's a part of the title page where he says, the Book of Lies, which is also falsely called Breaks. To understand what he meant by breaks, you have to go read on and understand the part in which he says, which thought it itself is untrue. Now, what Aleister Crowley is trying to get you guys to understand with this is that words within itself cannot truly do justice in its entirety in regards to explaining the true essence of reality, then the true essence of spiritualism. Everything that is above the abyss, that is in the land of unity, that is in the land of absolute, can only be experienced. You cannot utter it with words. It is only through direct experience can you understand what this God is about. So the word breaks in the title is that small inkling that you get when you are in that deep meditative space. And so what he's saying in all this is, I am getting as close to the truth as I possibly can in this book. But because I am speaking it out with my words, it is still false. Are you with me? It is still not the totality and the essence of what the all or God or the absolute actually is. It is still going to have a level of falseness. But through these metaphors and through this symbolism, I can try, in this confusing language, I can try to get as close to the truth as I possibly can. So on the very next page, you see, on the next two pages rather, you see a question mark, and then you see an exclamation point. Now, those two little symbols are actually two separate paragraphs. Chapters, not paragraphs. My bad, y'all. Let's keep going. The one page where you see the question mark, that is a full paragraph. And the one page where you see the exclamation point, that is a full paragraph. And to understand those, you have to go back to understand some of Aleister Crowley's former writings. One in particular is an essay that he wrote called The Soldier and the Hunchback. Now, The Soldier and the Hunchback was this essay, this piece that Aleister Crowley wrote to kind of demonstrate the correlation or the connection between doubt and the revelation of truth in pursuit of knowledge, in pursuit of understanding and wisdom, right? And once again, that truth that we speak about is the truth that transcends words. It is a truth that it can only directly be felt. Okay, and so the question mark, you see how it has, if you look at a question mark, it has a hump. The line isn't straight. It's like it's a little hump, right? And then it's a little dot at the middle, or at the bottom. That is the doubt. That is being us. That is, remember I said we are in the veil of illusion. So that is the doubt that we have under the abyss. All the planes that is under the abyss, right? When you are in the veil of illusion. Ever notice that even when you come to find something, a new fact or new information when it comes to spirituality, if you notice, you'll always have that small window of doubt within you. You'll always feel that doubt within you, even if it's little. When you're under the veil of illusion, there is quite literally an opposing force, because we are in duality. So for every truth or something to seemingly be true to you, any belief, there is that opposite, right? Belief. The word lie is in belief. So that shows you that there's always going to be that opposite force. So if you believe something and you feel something to be true, it's always going to be a doubt that is pushing against that, because we're in the land of duality. So the exclamation point, which signifies the soldier that stands upright, is your you being rooted and grounded in truth that only comes through direct experience, right? That is you climbing up the tree of life and going all the way past the abyss and going up to true unity with the Creator, right? Unity with the Most High. So then we get to the page 7, which then goes into the actual book. So the first thing it says, the anti-primal triad, which is not God. Nothing is, nothing becomes, nothing is not. The first triad, which is God. I am. I utter the word. I hear the word. The abyss. The word is broken up. There is knowledge. Knowledge is revelation. The fragments are creation. The broken manifest light. So you're probably wondering, what the hell did we just say, right? Now, the anti-primal triad, which is not God. Nothing is, nothing becomes, nothing is not. He's actually talking about the negative triad, right? And which is technically the first triad, or the first manifestation of God before creation. Essentially, he's talking about the clip-off, right? First presence of the all, or source, in creation before creation has even taken place. It's the negative of creation, which is something that is very hard for us to conceptualize, since we believe God as being the spirit, this being that just, always exists. So how can we think or fathom something that never had a beginning or the end? How can we fathom the beginning of that, or what preceded before a being that never had a beginning, right? So it's kind of confusing, but it is the negative triad, right? So then the next we talk about is the first actual triad of God, and that is which is God. I am, I utter the word, I hear the word. So now this is the presence of source coming in to manifesting itself as source before creation has even started. Remember, in the Bible it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This is actually tied to that. This is the I am. This is consciousness. This is vibration. This is energy now molding into form. Okay? Then we have the abyss. It says, the Word is broken up. There is knowledge. Knowledge is revelation. These fragments are creation. The broken manifest as light. Now, if you are familiar with the tree of life, you will understand that that is talking about Chokmah, because Chokmah represents knowledge, right? That is the tree that, or the sphere that is associated with the intellect, or with knowledge. And it happens to be one of the first 3 spheres. So again, we're still in the early parts of creation, okay? The word is broken up. There is knowledge. Knowledge is revelation. These fragments are creation. The broken manifest light. So these are fragments. These are fragments of creation, or fragments of source of, or energy or vibration. So this isn't, we're still formulating, right? The source of all creation, God, whatever you want to call it, reality, existence, is still formulating. This tells us that all of these things, all of these elements that we have, like knowledge, intellect, all these type of things that we have, was formulated before we were even formulated, right? All these things are of a higher nature, and they were passed down to us through the higher spheres before we were even formulated or manifested on this earth. All these fragments of us, or these fragments of a higher nature, was already created,